The research ship Harmony's Edge drifted through space like a giant crystal needle. Its hull sparkled with thousands of lights as various alien species worked inside. Captain Vextai stood on the bridge with his tall, crystalline body catching the starlight. His 6 arms moved across control panels while his large eyes searched the darkness ahead. "Captain, we have found something strange," called Science Officer Quindar from her station. The insect-like alien's antennae twitched with excitement. Her 4 hands worked quickly over the scanning equipment. "What kind of strange Quindar?" Vextai asked. His voice sounded like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. "A damaged vessel, sir. Small design. Unknown technology patterns. 2 life forms detected. Inside." Vextai moved across the bridge with flowing steps. Other crew members looked up from their work. There was Mordak, the giant slug-like engineer, and Piptel, the floating gas creature from the Outer Rim worlds. All of them had seen many strange things in space, but finding unknown life always brought excitement. "Bring the vessel into our cargo bay," Vextai ordered. "Set containment fields and prepare the medical bay. Unknown species might need special care." The Harmony's Edge extended mechanical arms and carefully pulled the small damaged ship inside. Through the viewing windows, the crew could see it was badly burned from some kind of space accident. Parts of the hull were missing and strange symbols covered the remaining metal. In the medical bay, Dr. Yilnith prepared her equipment. The tentacled healer had worked with hundreds of species before. Her green skin glowed softly as she arranged medical tools and scanning devices. "The life forms are very small," Quindar reported as they moved the damaged ship. "Much smaller than most sapient species we know. Their body heat suggests they are warm-blooded. Brain patterns show higher intelligence, but they seem very frightened." The airlock opened with a soft hiss. 2 figures stumbled out wearing simple spacesuits that looked primitive compared to Confederation technology. When they removed their helmets, the entire crew gasped with delight. The creatures were incredibly cute. They had soft, rounded faces, with small noses and large eyes that seemed to shine with moisture. Their hair was different colors and looked very soft. They were much shorter than most galactic species, and their movements seemed careful and gentle. One of them was male, with dark hair and kind eyes. He looked around the medical bay with obvious fear and wonder. The other was female, with longer hair and a face that showed worry but also curiosity. "Please, creature, don't hurt me," the male said in a shaking voice. His language was unknown, but the universal translator quickly worked out the meaning. "I'll offer all my sweets, but that was far from a toy bear." The aliens looked at each other in confusion about the toy bear comment, but they were charmed by the creature's frightened voice. The male reached into a small bag and pulled out colorful wrapped objects. "These are food gifts," he said, holding them out with trembling hands. "Please take them. We don't want any trouble." Dr. Yilnith approached slowly with her scanner running. "Fascinating. Their body structure suggests they evolved from predator stock, but their behavior is completely gentle. Look at how they offer food when scared. This is classic prey species. Behavior." The female creature also reached into her bag and pulled out similar wrapped items. "We have more sweets if you want them," she said in a small voice. "We just want to go home safely." Captain Vextai felt his heart warming to these small, frightened beings. In all his years exploring space, he had never seen such helpless, innocent creatures. Their large eyes reminded him of the baby animals on his home world. "What are your names, little ones?" he asked in the gentlest voice he could make. "I am Deho," said the male creature, still holding out his food offerings. "This is Hye Jin. Our ship broke during a long journey. We got lost from our home world." "Home world?" Quindar asked with interest. "Where do you come from?" "A place called Earth," Hye Jin replied softly. "It's very far away in the outer systems. We were exploring space when our engines failed." The crew exchanged excited looks. A new species from an unknown world was the greatest discovery any research ship could make. These creatures seemed perfect for Confederation protection programs. "Don't worry, little ones," Dr. Yilneth said sweetly. "We will take good care of you. The Confederation protects all peaceful species. You will be safe with us." Daeho and Hyojin looked at each other with what seemed like relief. They continued offering their wrapped food items, which the crew accepted with delight. The items tasted sweet and wonderful, unlike anything in Confederation space. "These are amazing," Captain Vextai said after trying a piece of chocolate. "Your species has remarkable food preparation skills for such a primitive culture." "We like to make things that taste good," Daeho said with a shy smile. "Food makes everyone happy when they share it." Over the next few hours, the crew ran gentle tests on the two humans. Every result confirmed what they suspected. These were Category 7 beings, harmless sapients, who needed protection from the dangerous galaxy. Their technology was basic, their physical abilities were limited, and their first response to fear was offering gifts. "We must take them to the galactic core," Captain Vextai decided. "The High Council will want to meet these charming creatures. Their homeworld should receive immediate protected status." Quindar began preparing reports about the discovery. She noted how the creatures called humans showed no aggressive behaviors and seemed completely helpless in space. Their small size and gentle nature made them perfect candidates for Confederation care. "Set course for Central Station," Vextai ordered. "Send word ahead that we have found a remarkable new species. The Council will be very pleased." As the ship jumped into hyperspace, Daeho quietly touched a small device hidden in his equipment. A signal transmitted faster than light toward the outer rim systems. On his face, the look of fear slowly faded, and for just a moment his expression became very different. Cold, calculating, dangerous. But when Hyojin looked at him, he quickly returned to his frightened, helpful expression. She also touched a hidden device and sent her own signal into the darkness between stars. "Thank you for saving us," Daeho told Captain Vextai with tears in his eyes. "We were so scared and lost. You are all very kind." The crew felt wonderful about their good deed. They had found adorable, helpless creatures and were bringing them to safety. None of them noticed the brief change in the humans' expressions or wondered why creatures so frightened of space travel had been exploring so far from their home world. The Harmony's edge continued toward the galactic core, carrying what its crew believed were two lucky rescued primitives. In reality, it carried something far more dangerous than they could imagine. The hunt had begun. Central Station orbited a massive blue star at the heart of Confederation space. The station stretched for hundreds of kilometers with countless docking bays and living areas for thousands of alien species. Ships from across the galaxy came and went like glowing insects around a bright lamp. Daeho and Hyojin walked through the station's corridors holding hands like scared children. Around them towered aliens of every shape and size. Some had multiple arms, others floated in the air, and many had skin that glowed with strange colors. The humans made small, frightened sounds whenever a particularly large alien passed by. "Stay close, little ones," said their escort Veltron, a kind, fuzzy creature with 6 legs. "The station can be overwhelming for new species. We're almost to your new home." They entered a section called the Protected Species Habitat. Through clear walls, they could see beautiful garden areas with comfortable buildings and peaceful walking paths. It looked like a paradise designed for beings who needed special care. "This is wonderful," Hyojin said in amazement. "So much space and everything looks so safe." "The Confederation spares no expense for our protected friends," Veltron said proudly. "You'll have everything you need here. Food, entertainment, and complete safety from the dangerous galaxy." As they entered the habitat, Daeho and Hyojin saw something that made them stop and stare. Other humans were walking around the gardens. Men and women of different ages, all dressed in simple, comfortable clothes. Some were reading books, others played simple games, and a few were tending to colorful flowers. There are more of us, Jin whispered with wonder. Oh, yes, Veltron said happily. We've been rescuing humans for many years now. Every time we find one of your damaged ships, we bring the survivors here. You have quite a community now. A man approached them with a gentle smile. He had short black hair and calm eyes that seemed very intelligent. Welcome, newcomers. I'm Jin Woo, and I've been here the longest. Let me show you around your new home. Veltron left them with Jin Woo and returned to his duties. The habitat sealed behind him with a soft humming sound. For a moment, the three humans stood in silence looking at each other. Then Jin Woo's expression completely changed. The gentle smile became sharp and calculating. His soft voice turned cold and professional. Report, he said quietly. Phase 7, complete, Daeho replied in the same cold tone. Full intelligence gathering operational. The Harmony's Edge crew suspects nothing. Fleet positions analyzed, Jin added. Confederation weakness patterns confirmed. They're exactly as soft as our projections indicated. Jinwoo nodded and led them toward a building that looked like a simple recreation center. Inside, they found a very different scene. Dozens of humans worked at advanced computer stations. Holographic displays showed star charts, fleet movements, and detailed alien psychology profiles. Welcome to Human Intelligence Station Alpha, Jinwoo said. Every human in this habitat is a trained operative. We've been mapping Confederation space and society for 37 years. A woman looked up from a computer station. She appeared young and innocent with bright eyes and a cheerful expression. I'm so young, she said. I work in the Galactic Senate building. The aliens think I'm a cute pet who sits on their laps during meetings. She activated a holographic display showing the Senate chamber. Last week, I recorded every classified discussion about military deployments. The fools actually scratch my head while planning troop movements. Other humans gathered around to greet the newcomers. Each one looked harmless and gentle, but their eyes held intelligence and purpose that would terrify the aliens outside. How long have we been planning this? Daeho asked. Since our first real contact with galactic civilization 200 years ago, Jinwoo explained. When we discovered how the other species viewed us, we realized we had the perfect infiltration opportunity. He led them to a wall covered with photographs and documents. Every human ship that gets rescued is deliberately sabotaged. We crash, them in carefully chosen locations to be found by specific alien vessels. Each rescue adds another operative to our network. The aliens genuinely want to help us, Jin observed, which makes them perfect targets, So Young said with a cold smile. Their kindness is their weakness. They see small, cute creatures offering sweets and assume we're harmless. They never look deeper. Jinwoo activated another display showing Earth surrounded by massive alien fleets. Phase 8 begins tomorrow. The Confederation has decided to protect our home world. They're sending their largest rescue fleet to relocate humanity to safer space. How many ships? Daeho asked. 12,000 vessels carrying their most advanced technology and their best commanders. They want to show humanity the full glory of Confederation kindness. And they have no idea what's waiting for them, Jin said. None at all, Jinwoo confirmed. They think Earth is a primitive world with simple defenses. Admiral Tae Min and the Home Fleet are very excited to meet them. So Young pulled up intelligence files about alien military capabilities. The Confederation hasn't fought a real war in 3 centuries. Their tactics are outdated, their crews are soft, and their commanders make decisions based on politics instead of strategy. What about the destroyer caste? Daeho asked. Our files say they're the only real warriors left. The destroyers are currently fighting each other in the outer spiral, Jinwoo replied. The Confederation deliberately keeps them busy with meaningless conflicts. They won't be a factor until much later. The habitat's daily routine continued around them. Other humans played games, read books, and tended gardens, while alien caretakers watched through the observation windows. The aliens felt happy seeing their rescued creatures living peaceful lives. The irony is beautiful, So Young said as she prepared for her next Senate mission. They think they're saving us from the dangerous galaxy. In reality, they're giving us everything we need to conquer it. That night, Dae-ho and Hye-jin were given a comfortable apartment overlooking the gardens. Through their window, they could see the massive Confederation fleet preparing to depart for Earth. Thousands of ships filled with aliens who believed they were about to perform the greatest rescue mission in galactic history. "Do you ever feel bad about deceiving them?" Hye-jin asked as she watched the fleet formations. "They made the choice to underestimate us," Dae-ho replied. "Evolution taught humanity to survive by any means necessary. If they see our survival instincts as cute behavior, that's their mistake." In the morning, the great fleet would jump to hyperspace, carrying hopes of showing primitive humans the wonders of galactic civilization. They had no idea they were flying toward the most sophisticated trap in military history, the galaxy's greatest. Predators had successfully disguised themselves as prey for 2 centuries. Tomorrow, they would reveal their true nature to the universe. Admiral Tae-min stood in the command center of Hidden Station 1, floating in the dark space beyond Pluto. Around him, dozens of human officers worked at control stations that looked far more advanced than anything the Confederation had ever seen. Through the massive viewing window, Earth appeared as a small blue dot surrounded by what looked like empty space. "Confederation Fleet Status Report," he ordered. 12,000 ships approaching Sol Systems, sir," reported Commander Yoon Seo from her tactical station. "They're maintaining standard rescue formation. No defensive posture detected." "Any signs they suspect our true capabilities?" Tae-min asked. "None, sir. Their communications indicate complete confidence in a peaceful first contact scenario. They expect to find primitive humans with basic technology." Tae-min allowed himself a small, cold smile. The approaching fleet was the largest force the Confederation had assembled in centuries. Their ships contained the best technology their civilization had developed over thousands of years. Their crews included representatives from over 300 alien species, all excited to meet Earth's helpless inhabitants. "Begin Phase 8 deployment," he commanded. Around Earth's solar system, invisible changes began occurring. What appeared to be empty space suddenly filled with thousands of human vessels decloaking from advanced stealth systems. Weapon platforms that had been disguised as asteroids powered up with energy signatures the aliens had never encountered. "Sir, incoming transmission from Confederation Fleet Command," the communications officer reported. "Put it through," Tae-min ordered. The main screen showed Fleet Admiral Quenthil, a majestic being with flowing tentacles and kind, ancient eyes. Behind him stood representatives from dozens of species, all looking pleased and excited. "Greetings, primitive humans of Earth," Quenthil said in a warm voice. "I am Fleet Admiral Quenthil of the Galactic Confederation. We come in peace to offer protection and guidance to your species. We have learned of your existence through rescued survivors from your damaged vessels. Your people will be relocated to safer worlds where you can live under our protection. Please do not be afraid. We mean you no harm." Tae-min stepped forward, wearing a simple military uniform that looked basic compared to the aliens' ornate clothing. "Greetings, Fleet Admiral. I am Admiral Tae-min of the Earth Defense Forces. We appreciate your concern for our welfare." The aliens looked delighted by his polite response. Several of them made comments about how cute human military leaders appeared to be. "Excellent," Quenthil said happily. "We will begin the relocation process immediately. Your primitive weapons and defenses will not be needed in Confederation space. We will provide complete protection." "I'm afraid there's been a misunderstanding," Tae-min replied calmly. "Humanity declines your generous offer. We prefer to remain on our home world." The aliens looked confused and slightly concerned. In their experience, primitive species always accepted Confederation protection gratefully. "Perhaps you don't understand, little human," said another alien officer. "The galaxy is dangerous for species like yours. You need our guidance and protection to survive." "We understand perfectly," Tae-min said. His voice remained calm, but something in his eyes had changed. "We're simply not interested in being relocated." "This is not a request," Quenthil said, more firmly. "For your own safety, you will be moved to protected worlds. This is final." Taemin touched a control on his command station. Throughout the solar system, human ships began powering up weapons systems that had been hidden for decades. "Then I'm afraid we have a problem," he said quietly. The Confederation sensors suddenly detected thousands of energy signatures surrounding their fleet. Ships appeared from nowhere with weapon designs they couldn't identify. The asteroid field revealed itself to be a massive defensive network with firepower that made their advanced fleet look primitive. "What is this?" Quenthil demanded in shock. "This is humanity showing our true face," Taemin replied. "We've been watching you for 2 centuries, learning your weaknesses, preparing for this moment. The first human weapons fired with invisible energy beams that passed through Confederation shields like they didn't exist. Advanced alien hulls began dissolving at the molecular level as human-designed weapons attacked their atomic structure. "Impossible!" gasped the alien fleet admiral as his ship's defenses failed completely. "Your technology is primitive. Our sensors showed basic capabilities." "Your sensors showed what we wanted them to show," Commander Yoon Seo said from her station. "Every piece of technology we let you discover was designed to hide our real advancement." Across the galaxy, embedded human operatives began their coordinated uprising. In the Senate building, So-Young moved from her position on a counselor's lap and activated hidden weapons. Within minutes, 3 high counselors lay dead while she calmly walked to the communications center. "Attention all human operatives," she broadcast on hidden channels. "Phase 8 is active. Begin liberation protocols immediately." On 12 different prison worlds, Jin Woo and other long-term operatives revealed their true nature to alien guards who had seen them as harmless pets for decades. Advanced human technology smuggled piece by piece over many years suddenly assembled. "Into devastating weapons! The cute little humans are killing everyone!" Panicked voices screamed across Confederation communication networks. In the Sol system, the battle was completely one-sided. Confederation ships designed for exploration and rescue operations found themselves facing military technology developed specifically for warfare. Human vessels moved with precision and attacked with ruthless efficiency that shocked the aliens. "We surrender," Admiral Quenthil transmitted as his flagship's systems failed around him. "Please stop the attack. We meant no harm." "We know you. Meant no harm," Admiral Taemin replied. "That was the problem. The galaxy needs stronger leadership than kind thoughts and good intentions." The surviving Confederation ships found themselves surrounded and helpless. Their advanced civilization had just been defeated by the species they thought needed protection. "How long have you been planning this?" Quenthil asked in a broken voice. "Since your people first discovered us," Taemin answered. "We realized immediately that you saw us as cute, harmless creatures. So we decided to use that perception as our greatest weapon. Your species offering sweets when frightened. Your small size and gentle appearance. All of it was deception." "No," Taemin said quietly. "It was evolution. On Earth, we learned to survive by making predators underestimate us. When we met you, we simply continued using the same strategy." Across the galaxy, the news spread rapidly. The harmless humans were revealing themselves as the most dangerous species anyone had ever encountered. Their cute behavior had hidden minds that planned centuries in advance and capabilities that surpassed every other civilization. "What do you want from us?" Quenthil asked. Before Taemin could answer, alarms began sounding throughout the command center. Something massive was approaching from the galactic core, moving faster than any known technology could achieve. "Sir, we're detecting energy signatures unlike anything in our databases," reported the sensor officer. "Something ancient is awakening and heading this way." The liberation of the galaxy had just begun, but humanity was about to face their greatest challenge yet. The massive ships that emerged from hyperspace near Jupiter were unlike anything in Confederation records. Black as deep space and covered with weapon ports, they moved with predatory grace that made even human vessels look primitive. Each ship was the size of a small moon, and they radiated an aura of barely controlled violence. "Destroyer cast fleet detected," Commander Yoon Seo reported with tension in her voice. 47 capital ships and unknown numbers of smaller vessels. Admiral Taemin studied the approaching force through the tactical display. The destroyers were the only species in the galaxy that the Confederation truly feared. While other races had grown soft and peaceful over the centuries, the destroyers remained dedicated warriors who lived only for battle. "They're not attacking," noted the sensor officer. "Standard approach formation, but no weapons charged." A new communication signal reached the human command center. When it activated, the screen showed a massive armored figure that seemed to be carved from living stone. Scars covered his face, and his eyes burned with ancient fury. This was Warlord Kezethak, leader of the destroyer fleets. "So," the warlord said in a voice like grinding metal, "the little prey animals have revealed themselves as hunters. Interesting." "Warlord Kezethak," Admiral Taemin replied with careful respect. "We did not expect the honor of your attention so quickly." "Honor?" Kezethak laughed harshly. "You have done something that has not been done in 1,000 years human. You have made war against the soft ones and won. For this you have earned my curiosity." Behind the warlord stood other destroyer warriors, each one a veteran of countless battles. Their technology was crude compared to Confederation standards, but it was built for one purpose only: destruction. "Your deception was masterful," Kezethak continued. "For centuries you let them believe you were harmless while you prepared for conquest. Even we did not detect your true nature until you revealed it." "We learned from necessity," Taemin replied. "On our world, the strong survive by making others underestimate them." "Yes," the warlord said with approval. "True predator thinking. The Confederation grew weak because they never faced real threats. You have reminded the galaxy what danger looks like." Admiral Taemin realized this was not a rescue mission for the Confederation. The destroyers were evaluating humanity as potential allies or enemies. "What do you propose, warlord?" he asked. "Single combat," Kezethak declared. "You against me. If you prove worthy, we will consider alliance. If you fail, your species dies with the rest of the soft civilizations." The challenge was broadcast across human space, causing alarm among the command staff. The destroyers were known for their incredible strength and combat skills. No alien species had ever defeated them in personal battle. "I accept," Admiral Taemin said without hesitation. "Excellent," the warlord replied. "We fight on the neutral station at Europa. Bring your weapons and your courage, human. You will need both." The journey to Europa Station took 6 hours, during which human forces prepared for the possibility that their admiral might not return. General Hanul took command of ground operations while preparing assault fleets to attack Confederation strongholds across the galaxy. Europa Station was an ancient structure built by an unknown race millions of years ago. Its central arena had hosted countless battles between species seeking to prove their worth. The destroyers maintained it as a sacred place where honor was decided through combat. Admiral Taemin entered the arena wearing light combat armor and carrying human weapons designed for maximum efficiency. Across from him, Warlord Kezethak stood in massive battle gear that had survived 1,000 conflicts. "The rules are simple, human," the warlord announced. "We fight until one yields or dies. Victory determines the fate of your species." "Understood," Taemin replied. The battle began with Kezethak charging forward with the fury of an avalanche. His massive weapon swept toward Taemin with enough force to crush steel. But the human admiral wasn't there when the blow landed. Taemin had studied destroyer combat methods for decades. He knew they prized strength and direct confrontation above all else, so he did something no other species had ever tried. He fought dishonorably, using speed and cunning instead of strength. Taemin attacked from angles the warlord didn't expect. His weapons targeted joints and weak points that destroyer honor would never allow them to exploit on each other. "Stand and fight," Kesthak roared, as his opponent continued to evade and strike from behind. "I am fighting," Taemin replied calmly. "Just not the way you expected." For the first time in centuries, a destroyer warrior found himself outmatched not by superior strength, but by tactics he had never encountered. The human used the arena itself as a weapon, turning the warlord's own momentum against him. When Kesthak finally fell defeated and disarmed, he expected to die. Instead, Taemin offered him a hand up from the arena floor. "Why do you not finish it?" the warlord asked in confusion. "Because I don't need to," Taemin replied. "The point was to prove humanity's worth, not to make enemies unnecessarily." Kesthak stared at the human admiral for a long moment, then began to laugh. It was a sound like avalanches and earthquakes, but filled with genuine joy. "Magnificent," he declared. "You fight like prey, but think like apex predators. You use our own strength against us in ways we never considered." Around the arena, other destroyer warriors watched in amazement. Their greatest leader had been defeated. By a being half his size using tactics their warrior code had never prepared them for. "The alliance is acceptable," Kesthak announced. "But know this, human. Your victory today will spread through our fleets. Every destroyer warrior will want to test themselves against your species. We look forward to it," Admiral Taemin replied. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, General Ha-Nul led ground assaults on major Confederation worlds. Human soldiers appeared small and harmless as they approached alien defensive positions. Then they revealed combat abilities that terrified their enemies. "They move like ghosts," reported one alien commander. "Small targets that strike from impossible angles. Our weapons can't track them, and our tactics don't work against their methods." In the Galactic Senate, So Young had taken control of the communication networks. Her broadcasts revealed the truth about human capabilities to shocked alien populations across known space. "For 200 years we have lived among you," she announced. "We learned your weaknesses and prepared for this day. The galaxy needs leadership that understands both strength and survival." Ambassador Kijun arrived at the Senate building as the last resistance collapsed. He stepped over the bodies of alien council members who had died trying to maintain their outdated authority. "Citizens of the Confederation," he broadcast to billions of beings. "Your leaders failed to understand the galaxy's true nature. Change is coming whether you accept it or not." The message was clear across all inhabited worlds. Humanity had revealed itself as the apex predator species the galaxy had never known it needed. But in the deep space between stars, ancient sensors were awakening. Something had been sleeping for millions of years, and the noise of galactic war was disturbing its rest. The real test of humanity's strength was about to begin. The signal came from the galactic core with enough power to reach every inhabited system simultaneously. It was older than any known civilization and carried authority that made even human technology seem primitive. Captain Minsu received it aboard his deep space exploration vessel while mapping unknown regions beyond Confederation space. "This is impossible," his science officer reported. "The energy signature suggests technology that predates galactic civilization by millions of years." On the main screen, a figure appeared that looked like living metal shaped into humanoid form. Its eyes glowed with cold intelligence, and its voice carried the weight of eons. "I am the first architect," it announced, "builder of civilizations and guide of evolution. I have awakened to find my galaxy in chaos." Across human space, the transmission reached every ship and station. Admiral Taemin watched from his command center, while President Yoonji received it in the emergency bunker beneath Seoul. The message was reaching alien worlds as well, causing panic among populations who had never heard of the architects. Long, Ago, my people seeded this galaxy with life and guidance, the first architect continued. We uplifted primitive species and taught them civilization. We expected them to grow strong and wise over the millennia. Instead, we find stagnation. The species we created have become weak and satisfied with mediocrity. They build nothing new and explore nothing dangerous. They have failed our purpose. Captain Min Su ordered his ship toward the galactic core at maximum speed. If the architects were real, they represented a threat beyond anything humanity had prepared for. However, the architect continued, we have discovered one species that developed without our guidance. Humans have shown the innovation and growth we hope to cultivate. You have proven that sapience can still evolve. We offer you a choice. Join us in correcting the failures of galactic civilization. Help us rebuild the galaxy according to our original design. In return, you will inherit the stars. The transmission ended, leaving billions of beings across the galaxy to contemplate the revelation that their entire civilization had been an experiment that was now being judged as a failure. President Yoonji called an emergency meeting of the Human High Council. Leaders from every major human world gathered via holographic conference to discuss the most important decision in their species' history. The architects claim they created most alien species, reported Dr. Yoon Seo from her scientific analysis station. Our deep space sensors confirm massive structures awakening throughout the galactic core. Technology beyond our current understanding. What are they offering exactly? Asked General Hanul from his military command post. Partnership in genocide, replied Ambassador Ki Jun bluntly. They want us to help them destroy or remake every species they consider a failure, which appears to be everyone except us. And if we refuse, President Yoonji asked, then they'll probably destroy us along with everyone else, Admiral Tae-min said grimly. Captain Min Su's ship was the first to reach the galactic core, and what he found there defied understanding. Massive structures the size of solar systems were awakening from millions of years of dormancy. Ships that looked like living geometric patterns moved between them with impossible speed. Captain, we're being scanned, his tactical officer reported. Energy beams unlike anything in our databases. The first architect appeared on their screen again, this time showing more detail. Its metallic features were beautiful and terrible, with an intelligence that seemed to calculate the value of every atom in the universe. Captain Min Su of humanity, it said, knowing his name somehow. You have come to witness the awakening. Impressive. Initiative. We want to understand what you're planning, Min Su replied. Simple. We will reset galactic civilization to its original parameters. Species that cannot adapt will be removed and replaced with better designs. Your species shows promise, so you may survive if you assist us. And if humanity refuses to participate in mass extinction, Min Su asked. The architect's expression didn't change, but the temperature in the ship seemed to drop. Then you will share the fate of the other failures. Across the galaxy, massive architect ships began moving toward inhabited systems. Their technology could reshape matter at the molecular level, turning planets into different forms or removing them entirely from existence. President Eun-ji made humanity's decision in an emergency broadcast that reached every human settlement. Citizens of humanity, she announced, we reject the architect's offer. We will not participate in genocide against species who have shown us kindness, even if that kindness was based on misunderstanding. Furthermore, we reject their authority over galactic civilization. No species has the right to judge others as failures and sentence them to death. The declaration shocked both humans and aliens across the galaxy. Humanity was refusing to ally with beings powerful enough to destroy solar systems. Instead, they were choosing to protect the same aliens they had just conquered. Humanity will stand with the Confederation and all species threatened by the architects, President Yoon-ji continued. We may have deceived you about our nature, but we will not abandon you to extinction. The first architect's response came within hours. Disappointing. Your species showed such promise. Now you will be corrected along with the others. Architect fleets began moving toward every major population center in the galaxy. Their weapons could unmake entire worlds, but they moved slowly, as if they had all the time in the universe. Admiral Tamin coordinated with former Confederation leaders to organize a desperate defense. Warlord Kezthak brought his destroyer fleets into alliance with species they had fought for centuries. The small humans continued to surprise, the warlord observed. They could have ruled the galaxy with Architect backing, but chose to defend those they defeated. Maybe that's what makes them truly dangerous, replied the former Admiral Quenthil. They think beyond simple conquest. Captain Min-Su made a discovery that changed everything. While studying the Architect structures, he realized their technology was incredibly advanced but also incredibly old. The AIs had been following the same programming for millions of years without significant updates. They're not adapting, he reported to Human Command. Their technology is superior, but their thinking is locked into ancient patterns. They can't predict what they haven't already programmed for. Dr. Yunseo analyzed the data and reached a startling conclusion. The Architects have the same weakness as the Confederation. They've become stagnant. Their power is immense, but they lack the innovation they claim to value. Then we fight them the same way we fought everyone else, Admiral Tamin declared. We do things they don't expect. The battle for galactic survival was about to begin, but humanity had found the enemy's weakness. The Architects were about to learn that evolution never stops even for gods. 6 months after the Battle of the Galactic Core, President Yunji stood before the rebuilt Galactic Senate. The chamber looked the same as before, but everything had changed. Former enemies sat together as equals, while humans occupied positions of leadership they had never sought but could not avoid. The Architect War taught us all valuable lessons, she addressed the mixed assembly of human and alien representatives. Power without wisdom leads to stagnation. Wisdom without strength leads to extinction. Balance requires both. In the audience, Captain Min-Su sat beside the former Admiral Quenthil. The alien officer who had once planned to relocate humanity now served as co-commander of the new Galactic Defense Fleet. Their friendship had grown from mutual respect after fighting side by side against the Architects. The victory was costly, Quenthil whispered to Min-Su. 17 worlds destroyed before we learned to counter their reality-shaping weapons. But we did learn, Min-Su replied quietly. That's what made the difference. The final battle had been won not through superior firepower, but through humanity's gift for unpredictable thinking. When Architect technology could reshape matter and energy at will, human tactics focused on reshaping probability and expectation instead. Dr. Yunseo had developed weapons that attacked the Architects' programming rather than their physical forms. Instead of trying to destroy beings who could remake themselves, humans had forced them to question their ancient assumptions. The Architects ruled through certainty, she had explained during the weapons briefing. They knew exactly what each species would do in every situation. But humans do things that make no logical sense, which crashes their prediction systems. Admiral Tamin had proven this by doing something no military commander in galactic history had attempted. He surrendered his entire fleet to the enemy, then immediately attacked from inside their defenses. The Architects had no programming to handle opponents who voluntarily became prisoners as part of their battle strategy. Citizens of the galaxy, President Yunji continued her address. We now face the challenge of rebuilding civilization without the mistakes of the past. This requires honest partnership between all species. She activated a holographic display showing the new governmental structure. The Galactic Compact replaces the old Confederation. Every species has equal representation regardless of size or technology level. Decisions are made through debate and consensus, not through assumed authority. Warlord Kezthak stood from his seat in the destroyer section. The massive warrior had insisted on attending despite his people's traditional hatred of political gatherings. The humans have proven themselves worthy of leadership, he announced in his grinding voice. But they refuse to rule. This shows wisdom beyond their years. We're not here to rule anyone, Admiral Taman replied from his position as defense coordinator. We're here to make sure everyone has the freedom to choose their own path. The new system was already showing results. Species that had stagnated under Confederation protection were beginning to explore and innovate again. The destroyer caste had formed training partnerships with human military forces, creating hybrid tactics that combined honor with efficiency. The integration process continues smoothly, reported So Young from her new position as Cultural Exchange Director. Former intelligence operatives are revealing their true identities to alien friends and colleagues. This had been one of the most difficult transitions. Aliens who had cared for humans as pets were shocked to discover their gentle charges were actually trained soldiers and spies. Some relationships had ended in anger and betrayal, but many had evolved into genuine friendships based on mutual respect. The hardest part was admitting how much we enjoyed deceiving them, Jinwoo had confessed during the debriefing sessions. It felt like we were betraying people who had genuinely tried to help us. But they were trying to help us become something we're not, Hyejin had replied. True friendship requires accepting someone's real nature, not the nature you wish they had. President Yoonji moved to the final part of her address. Humanity accepts our role as evolutionary catalysts for galactic civilization. We will not rule, but we will challenge. We will not conquer, but we will inspire growth. The concept had emerged from extensive discussions between human leaders and alien philosophers. Instead of becoming galactic overlords, humans would serve as a constant source of unexpected ideas and innovations. Every species will be encouraged to reach beyond their comfort zones, Dr. Yoon Seo explained. Not through force, but through example and friendly competition. The architects were wrong about evolution, Captain Min-soo added. It's not about removing failures. It's about giving everyone the opportunity to grow. As the session ended, representatives from dozens of species mingled in the chamber corridors. Conversations that would have been impossible 6 months earlier were now commonplace. Former Confederation officials worked with destroyer warriors to plan joint exploration missions. Dai-ho found himself approached by Science Officer Quindar from the original rescue ship. The insect-like alien who had first classified humans as harmless pets now served as his research partner in xenobiology. I must ask, Quindar said with her antennae twitching in what humans had learned indicated curiosity. When you offered me sweets on our first meeting, did you plan all of this even then? Daeho smiled, the same innocent expression that had fooled so many aliens for so many years. Not all of it, he admitted. But we knew we were opening a door that would change everything. And you weren't afraid of what might come through that door, she asked. Fear is just another tool, Daeho replied. Evolution taught us to use every advantage we have, including the advantages others don't expect us to possess. In the distance, Earth appeared on the main viewing screen, surrounded by the mixed fleets of the new Galactic Defense Force. Human ships flew alongside alien vessels in formations that represented cooperation rather than conquest. The galaxy is finally growing again, President Yoonji observed as she watched the diverse fleet maneuvers. Species are exploring new ideas and pushing beyond old limitations. Just like evolution intended, Admiral Taemin replied. The transformation was visible everywhere. Research stations jointly operated by multiple species were making discoveries that no single civilization could have achieved. Trade routes opened to worlds that had been isolated for centuries. Art and music flowed between cultures, creating new forms of beauty. We succeeded beyond our original plans, General Han-Yul noted during the final military briefing. We wanted to free ourselves from alien control, but we ended up freeing the entire galaxy from stagnation. Maybe that was always the real objective, Hyejin suggested. Maybe humanity's role was never to rule, but to wake everyone else up. As the first year of the new Galactic Compact approached its end, Ambassador Kijun submitted his final report on the integration process. Species across the galaxy are showing innovation levels not seen in millennia, he wrote. The human example of hidden strength and unexpected tactics has inspired others to look beyond traditional approaches. Most importantly, the galaxy has learned that survival sometimes requires appearing weaker than you are while preparing to be stronger than anyone expects. In the old protected species habitat on Central Station, a small memorial had been erected. It honored the memory of the deception that had changed galactic history. The plaque read simply, "Here lived the humans who taught the galaxy that evolution never stops." The memorial was tended by both humans and aliens working together. Children of multiple species played in the gardens while their parents planned missions to unexplored regions of space. The galaxy had learned its greatest lesson. True strength comes not from size or technology, but from the willingness to grow beyond what others expect you to become. And in the depths of space, human exploration, ships continued their work with alien partners discovering new worlds and new possibilities. The age of stagnation was over. The age of evolution had begun again.